Hi everyone, how are you guys doing? Hope your week went well. I'm still beading. I've had a pretty good week, just like any typical person. We have a few bumps in the road, but we move past that and we try to see the positive. And so I'm still keeping my project simple as I started my class today. It is Wednesday, January 11th, and it's 11:17 p.m. in the evening. I wanted to post earlier, but I work, and after I got off work, I actually started my class, business law, and it's a really interesting class. It's just the first class. So I'll work on rereading my 3 chapters and look for an interesting subject for my paper regarding business law in the news. If you have any suggestions that's current, please comment below. My name again is Josie. Welcome to my channel. I kind of vlog about, what's going on, if there's any funny stories that might happen, and just some of the projects I'm working on. It's still winter here in Alaska. Thank goodness it hasn't really snowed. We had a little bit here and there, but not since our major snowstorm in December where we were shoveling upwards. One of the things I'm going to show you is this new beading project I finished. I want to, I have all these little glass ornaments and glass floating balls, laying around. So I thought, it's a good way to just doll them up. And one of the things that I did is, this is actually my second time. The first time I was more than halfway through, but as you get towards the middle of the ball, your beads should be laying flat. And if they're not laying flat, as you start closing in the bottom, it'll bunch up on top. So I completely cut it all apart. I have time. Cut it all up. Beads were all over my beading mat, and I rebeaded it, and I liked it, just the plain ball with the ornament section so I could hang it. And then my sister and my husband encouraged me to add some fringe at the bottom. Either way, I like it. And so that's just something I did this week. It's kind of funny. I made this thinking, okay, one of my kids will want one of my beaded ornaments and say, Mom, can I have that? Not one. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. This is not everyone's cup of tea. But you think, okay, your kids would want something. But that's all right. So I decided, this one is an odd shaped float. This is an actual float. That one's just a glass ball. You can tell the difference. That's thinner glass, whereas this is thicker, and this one isn't quite round, but I like it, and it's a more of an unusual color. A lot of them you get are, that sea glass blue. I found out, they were made from Coke bottles, and so this one was most likely made from, a wine bottle, and it's so the darker colors are a little bit more rare compared to the Coke bottle colors. So I wanted to beat this, even though it's not quite round, but I want to see how it goes. And trust me, I have no problem. If it's not laying right, when I go to, I'm more than halfway down, I will cut it up and start over. But I wanted to, I really like the sea glass frosted looking beads. These are size 11. And I wanted to do the primary is white, and I'm doing an accent of orange. Hopefully the colors are showing up good on, and then I'm also doing yellow, and for the little center points, I'm doing this copper looking smaller beads. I'm still learning bead sizes. I do have a funny story though. The last 3 glass floats I made, you know, I used Fireline, and I used 14-pound Fireline, trying to bead on these size 12 needles. Lord have mercy, trying to bead that thick the thick thread through the small needle. I got it. And apparently I did it multiple times, because I had no problem cutting this up, going, oh well, start over. And so today when I went to the beading store, I was talking to the lady at the bead shack here in Anchorage, Alaska. I really like going in there. She's got a, if you live in Anchorage, Alaska, she is very kind, and she's knowledgeable in what she does. And the way everything is arranged is just so beautiful. It makes it hard to just go in. Like today, I went in just for these and end up leaving with yellow and the orange, and you know, and then accent beads. But when I was talking to her, she was telling me, why are you buying 14-pound Fireline? And I was like, that's what I've been using to make my last 3 ornaments, just so it'll hold the weight of the glass. And she was like, she giggled and she goes, that's a really thick piece of thread. And she goes, and it's fitting through the 11. I was like, yeah, I have tight moments, you know. Use my needle nose pliers when I have to pull through certain areas. And she's like, you know what? Why don't you buy some 8 pounds? It's thinner. It'll hold the weight of the glass, and you don't have to worry about it busting. And she goes, unless you want to use the 14-pound one, and you know, you can use your ornament as a fishing lure. I started giggling, you know, as I'm still learning the different weights. And let me tell you, beading with the 8-pound is so much easier. At least with my old eyes, I can get it through the eye and then a lot easier. I'm old school. You know, my sister keeps telling me, you know, get on Joann's or buy a, I don't even know what they call it. It's little, helps you bead a needle or, and I was like, no, I'll just tough it out. I'll eventually get it. And she's like, don't work harder, work smarter. I'm like, oh my Lord. So, but so far, this is my project. And as you can see, the yellow is actually, because it's translucent, it's turning kind of the color of the ball. And my goal is I'll completely get it down. I'm halfway through, and as soon as I finish this row, then I'll drop my beads by 2 and work my way down. And once I get it completely beaded on, then I'll decide if I want to add fringe or not. But haven't got that far. My process is, you know, let me finish the ball. If it's laying right, I'll I'll finish it up. If not, cut it over and cut it up and start all over. I don't be afraid when you're learning or doing something new. If you mess up, you can always start over, or make those needed adjustments. Your first few projects you do, they're not going to be perfect. They're gonna have issues. I remember when the first cuss book I made, I actually still have it in my closet. I still love to wear it. And I really, I look back at it and I can see my beginner skill level of making cuss books. And so I'm starting to see how I'm improving, because when I looked at my first beaded ornaments that I did for, on the plastic balls, you could see my lines weren't tight. They weren't as tight as this. Like the ball in here is barely moving. And so the more you do something, the better you get. And you just keep moving forward. And so I'll keep beading ornaments until I run out of the glass, or I'll keep beading glass floats until I run out of the glass. And if you have any suggestions on, who I can learn more from, because I want to eventually change my pattern. As I'm learning that, I want to learn something new. But it's a good day. It kills some time, and I'm enjoying myself, because I just sit here at my dining room table, and I put on my headphones, use my iPad mini, and I listen to some YouTube. And I necessarily don't watch them, but they're background noise. So, and I just keep away at the project I'm working on. My goal is, even though it's late at night, is I want to at least finish this up so I can put the beads away. My granddaughter's coming over early in the morning. She usually gets here between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. And she likes to sit on my lap when I'm either sewing or doing something. And so I thought, okay, well, I'm off until next Tuesday. So maybe I'll cut up something, make a tote bag, and, all I have to do is sew straight lines, and she can sit with me as I'm sewing on the sewing machine. I'm hoping to get her really comfortable with sewing and whatever little crafts I'm working on. Or my brain's always thinking, okay, how can I improve this? Or what can I do next? Because I'm one of those people that, especially when it comes to crafting, DIY, I always want to learn something. I think that's just the way my brain is built. Sometimes my husband tells me, I can hear you thinking. Or I'll have conversations with myself. In October, I was making my sister a tote bag, and I was talking, and my sister watched me go through and make a couple of those, and she asked me, and she goes, am I supposed to answer you back? And I looked, before I could respond, my husband, he laughed and he goes, no, she's just talking through a process. You can answer back, doesn't mean she's going to hear what you're saying. I looked at her, I go, what'd you say? And she goes, well, you talk to yourself, or I thought you were talking to me or Brett, asking us questions. And I was like, oh my gosh, I do that all the time. I'm talking to myself when I'm on a project, and how can I change this? How can I improve this? And so I'm, talk myself through the process, how I'm going to get it done. And she goes, oh, thank God, because I don't know anything about sewing, so I wouldn't know what to tell you to do. And so her and my husband and, my kids, when they hear me talking and I'm doing stuff, they just let me have at it. And if I need their opinion, uh, then I'll make sure I say their name. That was with this project, because I liked it to just a plain ball. I didn't want no fringe. I just wanted to be able to have the ball. And so I asked my sister Emily and I asked my husband, and they were like, no, add some fringe. And I was like, are you sure? They were like, yes, add some fringe. So I put the fringe on. I wasn't happy when I was doing it, but you know, by popular opinion, I put the fringe on and it does look pretty. So yeah. So someone gives you advice, you know, you can take it with a grain of salt, or if it's by popular demand, popular opinion, do it and see how you like it. And it did turn out really pretty. So I'm glad I listened to my husband and my sister. And now I'll finish this project. I won't add fringe. I won't do anything with it. Again, I want to get my stuff ready so when the granddaughter comes over, you know, me and her can do some sewing. She's only one, but hey, she knows when I'm at the sewing machine, she sit on my lap as I'm sewing straight, and of course she'll play with the tension, and then I'll holler at her, don't mess with the tension, quit touching that knob, and then I get the look. But that's fine. I just switch it back. So the bags I do make sometimes, you know, they're a little off, but it's because my granddaughter was helping me and I'm making her comfortable around these things. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll post a short video of my completed project when I finish this one, and don't know what I'm going to do with them. I'll probably like have 100 beaded glass floats just hanging around my house, running out of places to hang them. Or I can force my kids to take one. But you guys have a beautiful day, and I hope wherever you are, you just enjoy your day. Hey, pick up something, try it new, and just remember, your first few projects are gonna be really different from what you planned, but as you learn and grow from doing it repetitively, you will improve. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below, and just tell me what you think. So it's January, so I know spring is around the corner, and you know, we'll be able to take you outside, and I'm sure we'll be doing something crazy. Hey, the great thing is I can just record and talk to you guys. And all right, bye-bye.